Good morning and welcome back to class. I'm so happy to meet you. Before going into the actual lesson, we will watch a small conversation between two friends and then we'll move into the second part of the poem, A Casuarina Tree. Hello friend. Hello. How are you? You look so happy. Do you have something interesting to say? Yes, my friend. Please say. I'm very eager to hear about it. Last week, we learned about a poem called A Casuarina Tree in a school. And then, you know why this poem was written? Why? It was written by a Bengali poetess named Toru Dutt. She had stayed with her siblings in a house, and later for higher studies she had gone to foreign countries. And then what happened? Even though she remained in the foreign country, her heart and mind was round the casuarina tree. She also remembers the birds, the bees, the monkeys, the cows, and above all, her heart lingers around the tree because under this tree she had played with her loved ones, and she is not able to forget the memory of this tree even though she is far away. She says that the tree's lament can be heard even in foreign land. Good morning again. Hope you remember the poem A Casuarina Tree by Toru Dutt, a Bengali poetess who went abroad for higher studies. We'll quickly go into a recap of what we have learned. It begins with a description of the casuarina tree. We also see how the poet remembers the creeper winding itself round the tree like a huge python. The poet then goes on to describe the lives around the tree. She tells us about the red crimson flowers, the bees, the birds, the baboons which move in and around the tree. The shadow of the tree falls on a pond filled with water lilies. Above all, the poet is emotionally bound to this tree because under the shadow of this tree she had played with her siblings. Now moving into the fourth stanza of the poem, we'll read line by line so then you can also join along with me, and then I'll explain the stanza. Unknown yet well known to the eye of faith, I have heard that wail far, far away, in distant lands by many a sheltered bay, when slumbered in his cave the water wraith, and the waves gently kiss the classic shore of France or Italy beneath the moon, when earth lay tranced in a dreamless swoon, and every time the music grows, before mine inner vision rose a form sublime. Thy form, O tree, as in my happy prime, I saw thee in my own loved native clime. The first three lines tells how the memory of the tree has deeply touched the poet's heart. A man who has the eye of faith can see the unknown as well known. The tree's laments, that is wail, could be heard far away in distant lands and sheltered bays. Now moving into the next four lines, the poet says, the tree's laments reaches the land of the dead, that is even in his sleep, here it is, slumbered like the waves kissing the rocky shore. She also describes the earth as tranced in a dreamless swoon, bathed in the silver light of the moon. The trees' laments transcends territorial boundaries and is heard by her even in distant lands on the classic shores of France and Italy. The next two lines says that every time she hears the music, she would see her mind's eye the glorious grand tree. The last two lines says that even on foreign lands, the casuarina tree would appear in her inner vision just as she had seen it in her own native place. Now moving on into the last and fifth stanza of the poem, again I'll read, you can join along with me. Therefore I fain would consecrate a lay unto thy honoured tree, beloved of those who now in blessed sea for age repose, dearer than life to me, alas, were they. Mayst thou be numbered when my days are done, with deathless trees like those in Borodale, under whose awful branches lingered pale fear, trembling hope, and death the skeleton, and time the shadow, and though weak the verse that would thy beauty fain, O fain rehearse, may love defend thee from oblivion's curse. In the first three lines, the poet eagerly likes to make the tree holy by making a lay to honor the tree because it is beloved of those who are now in blessed sleep, those who have gone to death. In the next two lines, the poet says that the tree is dearer to her, that it should be there immortalized even after her death. In the next few lines, the poet places this tree like Wordsworth's tree in Borodale. Here the poet says that she wants to honor the casuarina tree like how Wordsworth honored the yew tree through his poem. The last few lines says that a man of love and devotion never fears the blow of death. The casuarina tree does not make her long for death. Even though the temporary time on earth is there in her mind, the tree is to her a support, a reminder of joy she once experienced with her siblings. The last line of the poem, love, to protect the tree from oblivion's curse that is not to be forgotten. The poet has of her own past and the past that she has shared with those who have gone. And here ends the poem. Now last class we saw certain figures of speech like simile and metaphor. Now we will see certain personification. What is personification? The non-human objects are portrayed in such a way that we feel that they have the ability to act like human beings. The giant wears a scarf. The giant is the tree. The scarf are the red crimson flowers. So they are personified. It's the tree's lament. Trees lament. Usually human beings lament, and that's why it is personified. Unknown yet well known to the eye of faith. Eye of faith personified. And the waves gently kissed the classic shore. Kissed personification. When earth lay tranced in a dreamless zone. So it is personified. Now we'll go into allusion. Allusion refers to reference from any worldly events. It can be geographical, biblical, historical, and literary. Here we saw in the poem how Wordsworth sanctified the yew tree in his poem. So these lines the words from the poem of Wordsworth are mentioned here. So this is literary allusion. Okay. Now we'll go into the certain appreciation questions. I have given only 5 examples. What is the creeper compared to? The creeper is compared to a python. How does the creeper appear in the tree? Like a scarf. Name the bird that sings in the poet's garden. The kohila. What has Wordsworth sanctified in his poem? The yew tree. Which tree is referred to in the above lines? The casuarina tree. How does the tree survive the tight hold of the creeper? The tree is strong. Okay. Now we'll go into a summary of the poem, which is given in the form of fill in the blanks in the book. The answers are given there. We'll find out the answers. The casuarina tree is tall and strong, with the creeper winding around it like the first one. What could be the first one? Like a python. The tree stands like a dash with a colorful scarf of flowers. Stands like a giant. So birds surround the garden and the sweet song of the birds is heard. The poet is delighted to see the casuarina tree through her casement. That is the window. She sees a grey monkey sitting like a statue on the top of the tree, the crows grazing and the water lilies springing in the pond. The poet feels that the tree is dear to her not for its impressive appearance, but for the nostalgic memories of a happy childhood that it brings to her. She strongly believes that what communicates with human beings? Nature communicates with human beings. The poet could communicate with the tree even when she was in a far off land, as she could hear the trees lamenting her absence. The poet consecrates the tree's memory to her loved ones who are not alive. She immortalizes the tree through her poem, like the poet Wordsworth, who dashed the yew tree of Borrowdale, who sanctified the yew tree of Borrowdale in verse. She expresses a wish that the tree should be remembered out of love and not just because it cannot be forgotten. Hope you have enjoyed going through this poem. I wish you read the poem line by line. Children, there is an enrichment material given about William Wordsworth. Go through that and enjoy. And thank you.